Go to LincolnStars.com. The Stars battle the Tri-City Storm for a Sunday afternoon tilt at the Icebox. Bring pre-packaged underwear to toss over the glass after Lincoln's first goal. All underwear will be donated to local kids in need at Foster Care Closet. Get your tickets to Sunday's game at LincolnStars.com.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Friday for the Nation Capital. I wanted to wish you folks a good morning. Spent the night here in a tornado warning. So it's been that kind of party since I got here. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. Hit me up. Get us with a what up or a good morning, and we'll get into the conversation. Live video streams up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. And you can text in Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685 for conversation. Jay Foreman, what's happening, brother?
Not too much, man. And we're supposed to get some good weather here, so we're not in the tornado watch like yourself. So, but we're all good over here.
Yeah, flew into thunderstorm. Bounced around all the way into the landing, and then a full-on tornado warning. Get in the basement kind of deal for about 3 hours last night. So it was interesting. It was interesting. We'll get that done. Couple of things for you, Jay. I don't know if you caught the Basketball Hall of Fame announcement.
I did. I saw Ginobili and Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what it was supposed to be. So Swin Cash from UConn, of course, in the WNBA. She's an icon in the women's game, so that makes perfect sense. Tim Hardaway, George Karl got in, of course, head coach, former NBA head coach, and then Bob Huggins got in. So I was kind of like, okay, is there somebody missing? Is there somebody that should be in this Hall of Fame? So there are a couple of people that were also considered. So Hugh Evans, the referee, of course, who's been all over the place. Marcus Johnson, who was college player of the year, five-time NBA All-Star, he didn't get in. Michael Cooper, who was a five-time champion, five-time first All-Defense. Marianne Stanley, of course, who led the way for the women's game. The women's game wouldn't be where it is now without Marianne Stanley. And then Lindsay Wellen, who was player of the year, four-time WNBA champion, five-time All-Star, and a two-time Olympic gold medalist. And now, coach herself, she didn't get in. Are they getting this right?
Ooh, I mean, I don't even know if you could say they're getting it right. I think when you have so many great candidates that don't get it, and you can't say they got it right. So I think it's all about timing, and this Hall of Fame thing is changed over the years, over the decades, especially with the the media and stuff like that. Some people get pushed in a little bit faster, or in some cases a little bit slower. So it's weird, especially what name jumps out of Marcus Johnson, and it's not only obviously his playing career is second to none, both in college and pros, but the influence he had on the game. He was one of the first stretch fours, extremely physical. He could play on the wing, obviously play underneath. He was a guy that you definitely game plan for. In a lot of ways, he was before his time as far as his skill set based on what they were doing at that point in time both in college and the NBA. So and it's weird because he is in the media, but he doesn't have the outlandish personality or have anything that you can attach to him, both good, either good or bad, that you can kind of say, okay, then he's, in the, media cycle, versus where you have Bob Huggins. It's extremely, he's a great coach. I mean, let's not forget, but, he's a big personality. And so that sometimes that supersedes, a great player like Ginobili. And then you got like Lindsey Whalen, who was essentially unstoppable, both, in
Right?
college and pros.
Right.
Champion, 2 or 3 times over, and has done great things, coaching. So it's just, nobody's there really. There's people that are extremely elated they got in. There's some people that are, extremely disappointed. So hopefully everybody's time comes sooner than later. And there's always, it's just like Pro Bowl votes. People get snubbed and get looked over. This is no different.
It's always funny too that I'm old enough that I recognize Marcus Johnson from White Men Can't Jump.
Oh yeah,
where he robs the local grocery store to get him some cash, and people know. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all don't understand. Marcus Johnson he's been all over the place. So I think he deserves to be a part of the conversation. Some of what Sip and Jake were talking about earlier, and that conversation of who the best player in the NBA is, and that Giannis has the night that he has last night against the Nets. So where are you in the conversation of who the best basketball player on the planet is?
Oh, it's either right now Giannis, Embiid, or KD. KD's been hurt, so you kind of can't put him in there, but KD's that dude. Same with LeBron. People are sleeping on LeBron, where he's leading the league in scoring and still putting up 8 and 6 or 8 and 7. Anybody else is doing that. It's a the MVP is done. So you always put LeBron in a different atmosphere, and then also KD as well. They're the best, but then injuries. These little Nick Knight. They both have been out for periods of time throughout the year, but right now, I would say it's either Embiid or Giannis. And Giannis is been in the league a while, been dominant, but he's still getting better. And the thing that I like about Giannis is his ability to rise up to the biggest moments. When you think of like in the championship last year versus other playoff appearances where, people would say he choked or didn't, step up to the competition, he's actually feasting in those moments now. He had a big block, I think, a couple games ago to win the game that was at first called a goaltending, but it was a clean block to win the game. Hit the step back 3 last night to send it into overtime, which obviously has been a Achilles heel supposedly in this game. He's gotten better at the free throw line, but then quite frankly, he's unstoppable. And so it just kind of I think a lot of it has depended on what you view as being the best. I think probably LeBron's the best overall player, scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, all that stuff. But then there's guys that are right up there with KD, Embiid, and Giannis. But right now, I'd probably say Giannis is the most dominant player. And Embiid is right there next to him, because Embiid can do some stuff that are next level that nobody in the league can do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it is they're both pretty much 7 feet tall. The builds are a little different, but they can do everything on the court that guards can do, and it's showing with these two in a neck and neck race, and maybe Embiid's probably a little bit ahead of him because he's been that dominant from game 1 till right now for that MVP trophy. But Giannis is letting people know last year was no fluke, and I still he's trying to be that dude, and but the old guys like KD and LeBron are still if you get them into a series, I think they will kind of rise up, above, a couple of the guys I mentioned before, because it is a 7-game series and they have a little bit more experience than both of them.
Could KD do in Milwaukee what Giannis is doing?
Ooh, it's hard to say because as great as KD is, it's weird because he's never played with the lack of talent that even at times LeBron played with, or Giannis. You get what I'm saying? Middleton is an all-star, but
Yeah.
Middleton isn't I could argue that he might not be a top 30 player. Now he's a great compliment to Giannis. I wouldn't say easily, but if I went through every team, I know I can get 15 ahead of him. And this is no disrespect to Middleton, right? But
Right.
there's another 10 or more that are just as good and better than him, maybe even more than 15, right?
Yeah.
Whereas KD, you got to think he comes in the league. He has Sir Ibaka,
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook himself,
Mm-hmm.
Harden coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You had Kendrick Perkins. You get what I'm saying? I mean,
Mhm.
that's how you start your, the first part of your NBA career. Then you go play with the Golden State Warriors, right?
Mhm.
And it's not just Steph, Clay, Draymond. The guys they had off the bench, Livingston, who essentially took a backup role, but in his, he has one of the best mid-range games in, his time period of playing, and all the other guys they had on that roster. Then he goes to Brooklyn, where you're playing with Kyrie and Harden, or Kyrie and Simmons, and all the other players. You got Blake Griffin, you had Aldridge, you got Drummond, you got
Millsap.
Patty Mills, you got Millsap. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think KD would still get off. I don't think he would be nearly as efficient as he is. I would say that, because we saw a little bit of that where he was putting up big numbers when he was first in the league. I think even when they were in Seattle, but didn't have a lot around him. But they remedied that real quick. So I don't think so. I think Giannis is doing some things that are kind of like LeBron-esque. When LeBron was playing with those Cavalier teams, that it was just LeBron and again, you're saying this with no disrespect to NBA players, because they are the greatest players in the world, but LeBron took some Cavs teams to the championship, Eastern Conference, titles that had no business going if anybody else was on that team. So I think Giannis is doing some great things.
They had Booby,
Don't just like the Jonas Ilgauskas like that.
I think Z was good. What I don't think is, when you had Booby, you had Williams, Mo Williams.
He was on the block a couple days ago.
Yeah. Mo Williams, he was decent, but is he a guy he's not sniffing an All-Star game?
Yeah, Verjao.
Verjao. Who was the guy that was from Australia that thought he was Dellavedova? Guy couldn't play dead, and those type of dudes. So, they were all right, but
Shannon Brown for a time.
Yeah, and anybody and everybody. They were anybody with a heartbeat and a pulse. But and then the coach that they had, they brought him from the Italian league or something. So I think what Giannis is doing, not only with the Bucks and in a small market, and with the continued pressure of, remember when he signed the big contract, and then also with the expectations of being a champion. So it is what it is. And I just got a thing from East Strick. East Strick must be listening. I like your little profile picture there, my brother. I see he's suited and booted. He's corrected me and say Mo made an All-Star game. So he was an All-Star. I stand corrected. But I will say
with Cleveland.
I guess he made it.
It was with Cleveland.
But he was no Eric Strickland, no, either. He wasn't locking fools up, and he was tiny. But yes, Mo Williams was good. But is Mo Williams, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, so forth and so on, when you think of KD, and then you compare it to what Giannis had? I think what really helped them was getting Holiday. That really helped them. Because once they made Holiday, or once Holiday decided and believed himself that he is that dude, I think that's what put them over the edge against Phoenix, and I think it's continued along during the season. I do think that Milwaukee has enough experience that know that they can start to crank it up here once it starts to come to playoff time.
I want to do the same thing with Embiid, because if you started to imagine Embiid with the Nets, Kyrie, etc., imagined him with the old Thunder group, what would the conversation be if Embiid was the guy in Milwaukee with all of this around him?
Oh, he would. I'm assuming that he would probably at least have one title. I mean, you got to think when he was in Philly, you know, the Jimmy Butler thing, I think is, it's either you like Jimmy Butler or you hate him, and more people
Really is so in between. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everywhere he's been, Jimmy's worn out his welcome. He's even doing it down there in Miami. So, I think that hurt them a little bit because that was a good team they had. And Jimmy and him would, Jimmy's a legit all-star. Jimmy's a legit dude to go with Embiid, and he has the right mentality. He just didn't have the mesh of being, inclusive teammate. You get what I'm saying? With
Jimmy's
Embiid.
an alpha.
Yeah, he's a overblown alpha that wants to be, and he's trying to make other alphas betas, and that's not how you win. You get what I'm saying? You can kind of go yin and yang. And so when you had Ben Simmons, right, with Jimmy, and it's no different when Jimmy was in Minnesota with Big Cat.
With Cat and Russell. I think Russell was still there.
Russell's there and stuff like that. You can rub guys the wrong way. I think that hurt him a little bit, but the fact that Embiid is doing things and have done things and gotten better, being called out by Shaq and Barkley to, telling him that he needs to be in better shape and take better care of his body because he kept getting these, injuries and stuff like that. He took it to heart, and now he's seeing the fruits of his labor, and he would be doing work wherever he's at. But if he got around another dude and say like a Holiday for 2 or 3 years, he'd be unstoppable. You got to think he's showing up to training camp expecting Ben Simmons to be there with Doc Rivers and trying to win an NBA championship, and this dude ain't even thinking about playing.
Yeah.
Ain't even thinking about playing.
Joel Embiid in Milwaukee would fit perfectly because
him and Giannis together, because
even if you swapped Giannis for Joel, it would work because what they did in Milwaukee was they surrounded Giannis with shooters,
right? Yeah,
and they surrounded him with playmakers so that he's able to do his thing. But if he's having an off night, if he can't get to the rim, everybody else can do it. He can post up and kick it out, and that's exactly what Joel does. He's not as fast as Giannis, but the athleticism is there. He can handle the ball pretty well for a 7-footer.
Right. He's you know what he is? He's Boogie Cousins at his prime times 3 or 4, Joel Embiid. And what I mean by that is like he's fast for that size, but Giannis is extremely fast for that size. But he's Boogie Cousins. When Boogie Cousins used to go to the hole, he's trying to rip the rim off, and that's the way, right? And that's what Embiid can do. But I think Embiid has a little bit more, not a little bit. He has a lot more skill as far as being able to do different moves. He has phenomenal footwork and stuff like that. So we did see that we got Strick on the hotline. Strick, he's gonna dice us up with the the NBA talk. He's gonna like, man, we don't know what we're talking about. So
what's up, Strick?
What's happening?
Yay, what's happening? What's popping? I love what y'all got going on right now. It's a good debate going on. But you was talking about Giannis earlier, man, and I really peeped that because what I've been wanting to see from Giannis and why I think his MVP credentials have raised to another level is because of not only what he's doing with the team, winning I think like 7 in a row. On top of that, he's expanded his game. I said 2 years ago, even when they won the championship, I said, if Giannis expands his game, he's going to be an absolute problem. And now he's shooting step-back threes, and he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and can't nobody do nothing about it. I think Giannis, man, is definitely in that debate. I hear y'all talking about a lot of other stuff. I'm going to listen. But that was one of the things I really wanted to speak to with regarding to Giannis. Another thing I think, fellas, is the Booker debate. Why is his name not in that? He's always been slighted. He's always been overlooked. He's always been pushed to the side. But you gotta give credence. I think he definitely needs to be in the top 5 right now. No question.
Yeah, I agree. Booker's I don't know whether he's not really flashy. You get what I'm saying? Or you can't even call Phoenix a small market, but it is kind of a small market team. And they have been playing phenomenal, and nobody's, they're not getting the lead story on any of all the networks, when they're playing the games, but it's not leading off, right?
No. I think they have the best record in the league.
Best record in the league, but everything you hear about is KD and Kyrie and everything, so forth and so on. So then that hurts Booker. But I think if he has another playoffs, I think he's going to be the front runner for the MVP next year, because let me tell you something, Booker will cut your heart out. I mean, he's ruthless on there. And I think that really, you know what really helps him? You can say this, Strick, or tell me whether I'm right or wrong. I think what really took Booker, or one of the things that helped Booker go to the next level, is playing with CP3. Because CP3 has that dog in him, and it's kind of rubbed off on him, and then Booker's still being himself, but he knows he has it in him. Is that true, or what do you think, Strick?
I would have to agree. Is CP3 brings a calming nature where the pressure doesn't have to always be on you. Like, you can do what you do, but you don't have to overly worry about other aspects of the game, because CP3 can take care of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it allows you to just be you and be in your zone. And he's a mid-range killer.
Yeah.
You know, CP3 get you to that mid-range and kill you. And so that's another efficient aspect of CP3 that makes the Phoenix go well. And they just put some great pieces around them. You see everybody starting to elevate their game. And so it's making them – one of the issues I had with Phoenix is they needed depth. They in the front court, they were very bad in depth. And so once they kind of work that issue out, I think they're going to be a tremendous team to have to deal with in the future, no question.
I'm going to ask Strick if he can hold on, or at least actually have Strick call back at the top of the hour, because we need to go to break. I want Rico.
I'm on my way to Lincoln, baby. I'm coming. I'll be in studio, baby.
Bet.
He wait for me to leave and then
Yep.
come in. Man, look, get out of here. All right, we'll throw it to break. Rico, tell us what's up coming up next.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Increasing cloud cover expected by later this afternoon, and we should see some scattered rain showers move in by late in the day. We'll top out near 64, southeast winds 15 to 25. A lingering chance of showers early tonight, then clearing with a low of 34. A beautiful Saturday on the way, mostly sunny with a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
The Stars take on the Sioux City Musketeers this Saturday night at the Icebox. Cheap tickets, big goals, and plenty of ice-cold beer. Puck drop is at 6:05 as Lincoln continues their playoff push. Go to LincolnStars.com for tickets. That's LincolnStars.com. The Stars battle the Tri-City Storm for a Sunday afternoon tilt at the Icebox. Bring pre-packaged underwear to toss over the glass after Lincoln's first goal. All underwear will be donated to local kids in need at Foster Care Closet. Get your tickets to Sunday's game at LincolnStars.com.
The best time to have your air conditioner serviced is before you really need it. Call Bryant now and schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. You'll stay cool and comfortable when you need it most. Just call 467-1111 to schedule your air conditioning check. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pineland. Let them fix you a plate.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God! Ow!
Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Old School on a Friday. I'm in DC. Rico and Jay are running the studio. I'll say this, Rico. I'm sorry. My apologies in advance, kind sir. I hate that your season ends.
Rip to my men's.
Yeah, rip to the Knicks. But I'll let you go ahead and tell it. Go on ahead to music. Let us know what's up.
Woke up this morning and I got out of bed. Had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone rang and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that. Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? He said, she said, we said, me said, what up with that? Who knew, you knew, said what, who do, what up with that? What up with that?
Gonna throw him up. What's happening, Rico? What's up?
The Knicks were officially eliminated from playoffs last night.
What?
Oh, heartbreaking. They needed to win 4 of 2. They needed the Hawks and or the Hornets to lose all of their games. And unfortunately, the first game the Knicks lost was to the Hornets. And then last night, the Hawks and the Hornets, I believe, won. So Knicks officially done.
Have you
jersey today?
It's black. I'm in mourning.
Oh, you went to the funeral.
It's also a Derrick Rose jersey, so he hasn't played all season. Is the new jersey.
He still has that ankle sprain that he was going to come back from, and they said, Kemba Walker, we got this better guy coming back, so you just sit at home. And
pretty much.
You can train while we pay you $20-something million. We'll find you something. We'll find you a place to go the best for your career.
Well, he didn't want to be bought out. He didn't, and they couldn't find a trade partner, so they just have him on the roster. But apparently he's training down in Charlotte. So there's rumors that Kemba's headed back to Charlotte next season because I think the Knicks only signed him to a 1 or 2 year deal. And they're going to either try to trade him for a bag of peanuts or release him. They're going to do right by Kemba. They're either going to trade him to where he wants to go for practically nothing or just release him so he can sign with
I don't know if he'd be able to go back to Charlotte where you got Ball, Terry Rozier, unless you trade him.
He would just be the veteran on the bench.
They already got that Isaiah Thomas. And Kemba's not going to go back to Charlotte, considering what he did in Charlotte, to be playing 10, 12 minutes a game.
True. I don't know. Somebody could use Kemba.
Oh, yeah.
Washington could use Kemba.
Washington could use a lot.
Let's go ahead and make that.
Julius Randle?
Give me your number 1 pick, Randall. I'll give you Beal.
Done.
Yeah. We both need to try something else.
I am fine with that.
We need to just try something else because it ain't working. Whatever we do, it ain't working.
They would have traded out of the first round anyways.
Yeah.
But do you think Bill couldn't play for Thibodeau though?
No, he couldn't. No,
Yeah,
he
he
couldn't.
could.
No, he
Yeah.
wouldn't.
No,
it'd work.
It would be Bill. Bill would probably waive his no trade, and he's like, Thibodeau's got you got to go.
It would
Play.
work perfectly fine. And if Beal couldn't play with Tibbs, Tibbs would be fired.
That's what we just said.
That's what he just said.
It would be before
Yeah.
he stepped foot.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
All right. Good deal.
I don't need Tibbs. I do need Beal though.
Final Four weekend for both the men and the women. We'll talk about that next here on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brown Shoe Fit is gearing up for spring with new inventory on the way. They're stocking up on new spring sandals and athletic shoes daily in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Keen, Merrell, On, and many, many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrax. Spring is the season to be active and busy. Don't let your feet lose their support with old rundown shoes or sandals. Stop by Brown's Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns big or small in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. You guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Thursday, Lincoln Christian beat Fairbury 5-2 in the ninth inning. Tyson Workman had a 2-run triple deep in the ninth to give the Crusaders the lead. Lincoln East went over Kearney 12-2, and Lincoln Southwest just got by Norfolk in a high-scoring game 17-16. Al Newell had the walk-off single in the ninth to win. Waverly beat Blair 7-4. James Van Cleve from the mound had 10 strikeouts and only gave up 1 run for Waverly. In girls soccer, Lincoln East shut out Norfolk 8-0. Kima Carpenter had 4 goals for the Spartans. Omaha Central won over Lincoln High by 2 goals. And in boys soccer, Lincoln East beat Norfolk 5-1. Lincoln Northeast won over Fremont 3-1. Lincoln Pius 10th got past Omaha Burke 4-2. Morgan Armagos led the Bolts with a goal and an assist. And Lincoln Southwest won over Columbus 1-0. Leighton Jepson had the only goal of the game for the win. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People's City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, We all do a little. We change a lot.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Brown Shoe Fit is gearing up for spring with new inventory on the way. They're stocking up on new spring sandals and athletic shoes daily in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Keen, Merrell, On, and many, many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrax. Spring is the season to be active and busy. Don't let your feet lose their support with old rundown shoes or sandals. Stop by Brown's Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
An Empire Fence is an investment in your home. This year, use your tax return to make that investment. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and security while improving the appearance of your home. Visit empire-fence.com to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home. With your tax return on the way, schedule your project now. Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Old School brought to you by Sandhills Global. Apply now at sandhillsjobs.com. We are in full effect. I think we have Strick online with DP. We're doing straight up a lot of internet things here, right? We are maxing out all of our capabilities on a Friday mid-morning, streamed in DP. Me and Rico in studio, and Strick on the line. Strick, you here?
I am here, my guy. I'm here.
DP just said he
I appreciate y'all letting me in. This is the show to be on right here.
Strick, we ain't never had to let you in because you always got the front door key and the back door access, so you always in there. You in like Flynn, man. You know what I'm saying? You down like 4 flat tires, man.
It's so good. I had to come on in town and spend some time in Lincoln.
Hey.
So I'll be in town for a few days for a little event for our company at Cerebral Sports. We're doing a little event, trying to raise the bar for some of these kids out here.
Hey, well, don't just tease it, Strick. Let us know what's up. What you doing in town? Is he there?
I'm sorry, DP. I didn't hear you.
I said, don't just tease the listeners. What are you doing in town?
So cerebralsports.com, our company, is partnered with a group in the AAU circuit. So we're just basically providing profiles to a lot of those kids, giving those kids the chance to be able to see and evaluate and observe how they compare, measure up, what other universities, what colleges are seeing, on them as well, and just helping to make them better by taking a look at their numbers. Things that say they haven't had a chance to see before, in-depth analytics. So we basically give them an opportunity to look deeper than beyond the eye test of what a lot of coaches are seeing, so that they can evaluate their games from a deeper level.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. That's definitely needed. And where's this going to be held at?
Well, I got the schedule. I'm on my way. It's at the hotel, so I haven't had a chance to see exactly where that location is, but I'll probably share it on the block a little bit later once I get it.
All right, that sounds good.
It'll be going on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, it won't be today. So I'm kind of off today. I'm kind of free. I might go smoke me a cigar and have me a glass of wine.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. I hear you. All right, you start the weekend right. But hey, Strick, DPT's the Final Four. Going into the at the bottom of the hour. Now we're at the top of the hour. Give everybody 3 or 4 things that you're going to look to see. Let's say in particular that Duke North Carolina game that's going to let you know which team is going to most likely come out with the victory.
Well, for me, it's definitely some revenge factor with that game. You have Duke, who was absolutely embarrassed at Cameron Indoor Stadium to finish out the season when they really wanted to send Coach K out on a good note. In the same light, they had embarrassed North Carolina before that, so it was a little bit of rivalry. They saved the coach's situation with Hubert Davis. So to me, I think Krzyzewski is one of the best coaches of all time. There's no question. It's probably the GOAT now at this point. But at the end of the day, the key points is going to be looking at Banchero and also looking at Manek. And the Manek pickup from Oklahoma was tremendous for them. So I think it's going to depend. You know what you're going to get from Baycott. You know what you're going to get from their guards. Love and that crew. It depends on how well they play as well, because there's a lot of inconsistencies with them. But I think the key component is Manek and how well he plays. That in that matchup.
And when you're looking at him, maybe from even a higher level college player or potentially next level, what do you think Manek brings, or what is his skill set what does he do skill wise that's going to be such a big deal to have a big effect in this game? You know what I mean? Like, what does he do or what he doesn't do, but more likely, how is he going to affect the game with his skill set?
Well, he's kind of Lambeer-ish, right?
Right.
He's going to do a lot of dirty stuff and a lot of dirty work and bang on the inside. He's not like a tremendous leaper, but what he does do that's significant is he stretches the floor. He is a stretch. He's a stretch guy, and if you don't get to him, he will bang your eyes out. So that's where he's going to be a tough go. Is that he's in constant motion. He's going to be a slow flow guy, and he's going to flow into if he's hitting and he's shooting well. It's going to be tough. They let Baycott do what he does on the inside. But Manek is that stretch guy that gives you trouble because of their guard play is so good that you find yourself retreating into the paint as you should defensively, and then you find a guy like Manek out there wide open on a lot of occasions. And if he's knocking down shots, it's going to be a lot of trouble for Duke.
Spirit, let me ask: when we're talking about the schematics of the game, and then there's the emotional side of it, and that these folks are neighbors, these folks are true rivals. Like, these are natural born rivals right down the road from each other, playing on the biggest stage they can play in. But it does have a little bit of nostalgia to it, and there's some legacy that'll be in place. This is an opportunity for Hubert Davis to step up and be a part of what Brown and Dean Smith were building. It's also the end game for Coach Krzyzewski. In the end of this thing, if North Carolina gets a win, what does this do for Hubert Davis?
This emerges Hubert Davis to a whole nother level, because literally they were calling for his head down there in North Carolina blue blood country. Mm-hmm. And him being my former teammate, I know how hard he works. I know the hours he put in. And for me, I know there's translation for what he did on the basketball court, because there's many a night that I stayed after and worked with him. So I know he's breaking down film. He's understanding what they did in their previous game. He's understanding what they did in the game where they won in Cameron Indoor Stadium. He's understanding that he needs to throw a few nuanced plays in there, different changes, throw some wrinkles in there to throw, because he knows Krzyzewski's going to be on point, and he's not going to let him slip by. So I think it's going to take him to another level as far as his coaching ability. Now, he's got to also duplicate that. Otherwise, he ends up being like Kevin Ali, right? Has a great run, wins a championship, and then he ends up being like Kevin Ali. So I think he also understands that point, that he's got to have follow-up. He may lose some players. He may lose a couple of them guards. Maybe one of them guards he may lose. Baycock may break. So he's got to understand he's got to replenish what may be lost also. So winning this game would do a tremendous thing for him. But even losing it, he will be okay as long as he can duplicate it.
Do you view North Carolina and his tenure maybe as like the equivalent of coaching football in the SEC at, say, like Tennessee or Florida, where they're think they're a blue blood, they are a blue blood, but they pull the trigger or could pull the trigger on a coach or coaches after Roy Williams, kind of like remember they had Doherty there before, and he's a former player, and it didn't work out, but they pulled the trigger and then they hit on Roy Williams. If Hubert Davis doesn't double down on it, say like in the next 2 seasons, do you view them to keep on, maybe finding new coaches, or do you think they'll ride out with him for a while?
I think Hubert would get some leeway. I think this helped him a little bit, unless he just totally falls off the track. If he finds himself in the top 4 of the ACC regularly, I think he can be okay. He can extend his tenure a little bit. Obviously, he'll win one or be on the verge of breaking through, maybe lose in the semis or lose in the finals, get to the final 8. He can extend his tenure. But I understand exactly where you're going, Jay, because he don't have a long rope. I mean, if he comes in and throws a 16-10, type season, and then maybe a 20-11, but don't lose in the first round, then he's going to start putting himself on the chopping block.
Right.
So I think that could be the case.
Strick, you talked about Hubert as a teammate, and like I said, my run with Hubert goes all the way back to him in high school in Northern Virginia, and again being ultimately disappointed because I thought he'd be the league's best wide receiver. Instead, he chose basketball. But the unknown part of it, or the part that isn't talked about enough, he comes from a family. I mean, look, that's the nephew of the Greyhound. That's Walter Davis's nephew. Like that's deep Tar Heel legacy. That's how blue blood Hubert Davis is in this thing. Yeah, folks wasn't sure he was going to be the right guy to coach, but he is. When you tell the story of North Carolina basketball, he's as much a part of this thing. I mean, him and his uncle both came in and did their thing in North Carolina. I think it's a great opportunity for North Carolina, quite frankly. If you had to,
you saw the emotion, DP. You saw he meant that when they won that game. And you saw the humility, because he really wanted to turn the focus not to him but to his players, because he realized what they did. That's really him. He is an authentic, genuine dude. And for players to see that emotion, that shows he cares, right? Yeah. He genuinely cares about those young men. And that's going to go a long way, because those young men that were watching that game saw not only what they did, but they saw the emotion of the coach. And how it was not about him, it was about what those young men did on that court. He really tried to turn the focus to them. And he cried. He was literally crying. He teared up because he wants it that much. Not for himself, but for them.
Who ends up, I mean, Coach K, aside from John Wooden or the names you want to throw at the top, you got to throw Dean Smith in for what he did while he was in North Carolina. Jay Wright is at the top of the mountain right now. But are we being disrespectful to self? I mean, look, this is you got 4 coaches, one of them isn't being talked about. That seems a little strange to me.
Yeah. I think Self is a tremendous coach. I think what got him into trouble in a few years is having the quality of teams that he had and has and gets bounced out in the first round no more than the second round for those years. And then he doesn't really get to the big game as much. He's gotten there, he's won, but to have the type and the quality of teams that he has and to continuously come up short, I think it puts a mark and a little mire on him. You know what I mean? So I think that's where that comes from. It's like I said about Bryce, right? And I'm only speaking that it's not to slight the young man. I love what he's doing and the opportunities that are before him. But it's what I said. Think of now all of the players that are playing deep into the playoffs that is just like Bryce. And in that game, in the NCAA game, just like I said on the block, just like in NBA, you're only as good as your last game. Austin Crozier, who was an absolute, for me, I thought he was horrible. You know, I played with him. I just thought he was average. But because of the series he had in the Lakers playoff run when they won.
Yeah, that's true.
It got him almost $90 million or 70 or 80 million, something like that. It was crazy. And I said, wow. So in the same manner, guys like Banchero, other guys that weren't on the radar, right? They were there, but they really weren't on the radar. Now their stock has risen because of what's going on in the NCAA tournament. So many guys. McGusty, who had a phenomenal run. So when you see that, you say, okay, Bryce, I like you, unless you just absolutely do something beyond measure in your pro days with the coaches, with the teams. You're just like anybody else. They're going to remember what that kid just did at the top level, at the highest competition, against the best of the best. That's how they're going to view it. So in the same light we're here, that's how they think of Self. You know what I mean? They see Jay Wright getting there, and they're kind of halfway doing that with Few. Like Few and Self are kind of starting to fall in the same boat right now.
It's going to. I think the weekend plays out. Yeah, I think the weekend plays it out. We'll have some great stories Sunday morning, Tuesday morning. We're going to have some great stories because this will change the landscape of college basketball, and it needs to. We'll throw the break now and we'll come back. I want to jump to the women's side because that Final Four is a smoke show as well. Lots to talk about there. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Strick.
I appreciate y'all, man. You know I got love for y'all, man. I appreciate everything y'all do. Come hang out with us on the block sometime too, goddamn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got you,
yes,
man.
Sir. All right, bro. We'll be right back here on Old School.
All right, y'all take care.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Thursday, Lincoln Christian beat Fairbury 5-2 in the ninth inning. Tyson Workman had a 2-run triple deep in the ninth to give the Crusaders the lead. Lincoln East went over Kearney 12-2, and Lincoln Southwest just got by Norfolk in a high-scoring game 17-16. Kyle Newell had the walk-off single in the ninth to win. Waverly beat Blair 7-4. James Van Cleve from the mound had 10 strikeouts and only gave up 1 run for Waverly. In girls soccer, Lincoln East shut out Norfolk 8-0. Kayla Carpenter had 4 goals for the Spartans. Omaha Central won over Lincoln High by 2 goals. And in boys soccer, Lincoln East beat Norfolk 5-1. Lincoln Northeast won over Fremont 3-1. Lincoln Pius X got past Omaha Burke 4-2. Morgan Armagoss led the Bolts with a goal and an assist. And Lincoln Southwest won over Columbus 1-0. Leighton Jepson had the only goal of the game for the win. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, but you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
AmeriCorps programs and members are making a huge impact in Nebraska communities near you, addressing critical issues like education, conservation, and even food insecurity. Because of AmeriCorps, 81% of students who complete the RISE curriculum don't return to the probation system. Learn about AmeriCorps programs serving communities in your region by visiting serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And then better get a head start.
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about things in the break DP's not privy to since he's not here. Welcome back to old school though. 93.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com.
We ain't talking about you though, bad DP.
No, it's not about you. So, if we were, we also wouldn't tell you, but it's fine.
Right? Like, I don't.
You can get a hold of us. Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Yeah, it's a blast here.
I've been in that room when the microphones are off, so I can just guess what you guys are fired up about. That's okay. You can text me later and let me know what I missed. That's how that works.
Okay.
To do that, I appreciate you guys holding it down today. Rico, I almost called you and said, "Hey, you got to do one-on-one today," but I'm not going to do that to you because. Yeah, look, man. you get here and there's plenty of stuff. There's 9,000 hands that reach out. I haven't been back here in forever, so there's a lot of stuff to handle, a lot of family business to handle too. So y'all understand that when you get back. Jay, understand you get back to DMV, you got a lot of folks that want to get to you. So this is what this is. On a busy Final Four weekend, the men have set the stage, and it's a good for Blue Bloods as well. The same can be said for women's basketball. South Carolina is the current elite. UConn is the standard. Stanford has always been the consistent, and then Louisville with a player who made a bid to be the player of the year, and maybe the most known and most popular of those players. Jay, how important is it for the women's Final Four to get amplified? Because this is a great Final Four, and I'm not sure it's getting the respect due.
Yeah, well, again, it's the Duke, North Carolina factor, and I know I've seen the commercials where they're trying to highlight the women's game or women athletics, but yeah, it's definitely not should be overlooked. When you got Stanford and UConn, those are blue bloods of basketball. You're talking about Vandermeer, she's a Hall of Fame coach, and then UConn has been that team for seems like forever, right? They're like the New England Patriots of women's basketball. They literally are. Either they're winning the championship or losing in the championship, and they got phenomenal players. Then you got Louisville and South Carolina, two teams that don't like each other, two teams that are built like each other, and it's going to be an extremely physical game. And they're the upstarts. Don Staley went down to South Carolina and really turned that around. Louisville's been a little bit longer in the process of being really good at women's basketball. So you have it's just like the men's, right? You got two different types of matchups where you got UConn, Stanford, kind of like the Villanova, Kansas, kind of more, it's going to strategic game, right? With two wily old veteran coaches, right? That know each other. It's intense. They like each other. They don't like each other, but they have a tremendous amount of respect for each other and the program and the players. And then you got Louisville, South Carolina, rivalries, go against each other and recruiting the same type of players because they play the same type of way, same type of mentality, right? It's going to be a lot of emotion. It's going to be physical. They're definitely going to be testing each other's fortitude. And it's kind of like along the Duke, North Carolina game. And so, and plus it's great basketball. It's exciting basketball. It's always going to be very, very competitive. And South Carolina is that team to beat. And it's going to be interesting to see, how Louisville handles South Carolina's inside presence, but then how does South Carolina handle Louisville's guards and their ability to play under pressure and apply pressure and to consistently just wear you down by executing and hitting shots. See, they're Louisville. What Louisville does with their guards, along with their inside and in their forwards or whatever you want to call them, is that they play steady. They put pressure on you on defense. They're technically sound. They're fundamentally sound, but they're extremely athletic and fast. And I always go back to the Michigan game. That's the difference. You get what I'm saying? It was the speed, the ability to change directions, to wear you down, reel you in close, and then let me go ahead, just extend it. So you're kind of like on a yo-yo. But against South Carolina, they can do the same thing. And so it's going to be interesting to see who can, counteract and who can do what. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a well-played game. But they're all going to be, very, contested fiercely. And that's what you need to see in, obviously, college basketball in general, but women's college basketball. It's going to be a really, really exciting weekend of basketball and sports. I mean, a ton is going on. This week in April is a great week or a great month of sports and all facets. But this Final Four on both men's and women's is going to be really special.
I want to throw it a quick break and then come back and talk about spring game next week and the recent stories and things to talk about, kind of turn our focus to April 9th because we're a week away. And the storylines should be clear by now. So let's throw the break here on Old School. When we come back, we'll talk about spring game. We're a week away, and there are a lot of stories to be investigated, at least to be considerate of as we do this. This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Why do I like Blue Bloods? Here's why. If you're successful over time, that's the true test. And in my lifetime, North Carolina basketball, Kansas basketball, Duke basketball, in my lifetime has almost always been good. I mean, all three of them. I mean, it's reliable, and they should be good because they put so much energy into it.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Brats, check. Chips, check. Tickets. I love tailgating, but this year I actually wanted to be in the stadium. Season tickets just weren't in my budget. Then I found a way. A research study at Stellarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and bought those season tickets. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Increasing cloud cover expected by later this afternoon, and we should see some scattered rain showers move in by late in the day. We'll top out near 64 southeast winds, 15 to 25. A lingering chance of showers early tonight, then clearing with a low of 34. A beautiful Saturday on the way, mostly sunny with a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Old School with DP and J.
Jay Foreman with the big yawn, man. You know you pass that yawn along, man. That's rough. Couple of things for you, Jay. We're 1 week from spring game, and we've talked about this being a celebration of just work, and it's kind of an exhibition for fans to get excited about and to rally folks around. But I think there are some actual hardcore questions to be answered, right? It'll be the first look. How much can be expected of Casey Thompson in a spring game?
I don't know. I mean, generally, I don't think you see much, right? But I mean, I'm sure he's, if he's out there, he's going to go out there and, play the position of quarterback, which he knows how to do. So I mean, in any spring game, unlike ones back like when I played, you're not going to see much. In the spring game is more of a quick glimpse into how the team looks, a good time to, kind of go through the process of a game because, as you get into game shape as a player, coaches get into game shape as coaches as well. Like, maybe you have assistant coach on each side or assistant coaches call plays X, Y, and Z. And then, go out there and compete, have your older guys, I think, play, and then, let the younger guys really get after it because, it's another practice with game-like conditions with fans in there. And so it's giving everybody a glimpse of what it's going to be like when the season starts to get out there in live bullets. So, you won't be able to see, a lot, but you'll be able to see just execution. And that's what you should want. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to be able to line up and do the basic things. And obviously whether it's offense, defense, and special teams, you want your operation right. You want to, see who can take what they've learned in practice and do it out there in a more than magnified practice / game exhibition or whatever you want to call it. Because the atmosphere will be different and that changes the dynamics. Don't go, I'm assuming there won't be a lot of coaches out there coaching on the field like practice. You're on to the next play. So who can think on their own out there without the crutch of the coach or assistant coaches, helping you along, let them get out there and figure it out themselves because that's a good way for them to learn. And, that's what I think it is. I think it's, a quick glimpse in there and, I don't know if they're going to divide up on who's the starters or not, but of course people are going to try to draw conclusions who's starting at, right guard, left guard, who can come back after injury, X, Y, and Z. But as far as the quarterback position, I think you're going to just see, maybe some differences in, I don't know, maybe like drops. I know they've said that they are going to go under center at times. So that's going to be, a new wrinkle or maybe a new wrinkle, and then, see what young guys have had a good offseason and who's going to, try to push for playing time or take some spots.
That's an interesting point you make about getting under center. What's the likelihood that you get a full ovation first time they go under center, and fans notice it?
50-50 on if the fans notice it, but I think it's something that you can constantly work on, and there's no time like the present. It's not a schematic thing, but it does change the mesh point or the read of the defense. So it's something that for other teams to see it and Nebraska practicing it, they're going to have to, prepare for it. So, it's something new and something that could use to, go to their, use to their advantage. And then also, if the running backs like it, gives them a little bit, more time to kind of, get their keys and read the blocks X, Y, and Z. So I don't think they're going to fully go to it, but it's also something that you want to be able to do in certain situations or against certain teams that, maybe have some troubles with that. If you have linebackers that aren't very good in reading the play action or the hats of the linemen, and you can have a quarterback that can play action fake or, make it look like a run, and get some, and threaten that middle of the field, or, get some play action passes down the field. That's exactly what you want. So there's a host of new players in a lot of rooms. And so you're going to be able to go out there and see, who these players are, along with the guys that have been on the team last year and redshirted last year, and who they are, live and, in the uniform and out there playing. So it's a good opportunity to look at the team. I don't think anybody across the nation really goes out there and, gives away too much during the spring game.
What group are you looking the most forward to getting eyes on?
I'd probably say that, I don't know, maybe offense, defensive line, just because of, the scrutiny that they were under last year. It's a new year, and I know from experience of being on a unit that maybe didn't play well, prior year, how much things can change just by a different voice, expectations, a different way of doing things with the same players. You get what I'm saying? When I was in Buffalo, we had a rough year on special teams. They didn't, of course they drafted and stuff like that, but it wasn't wholesale changes on the guys that, that were on the special teams unit. Danny Smith came in and just changed the expectations, the way that he communicated and the way he taught things. And we ended up being, one of the top 10 units in all 4 phases, just like that in one offseason. So look, maybe offensive line. I mean, everything. You're looking at everywhere. You're looking at defensive line. You're looking at, obviously, quarterback position. Receivers seem like they have like a ton of people in there. DBs as well. Then, of course, the young defensive line and outside linebackers and inside linebackers, to see, how much guys have gotten better from last year. So, that's what's going to probably make this spring game a little bit more unique than other ones, that the known entities are gone, right? Because last year you kind of, especially on defense, right, you had some super seniors that you knew that you were dependable, good players, knew what you were going to get. And so those were, that those were the guys, and they also played well. Now you got a lot of guys that were, been waiting, just as athletic, just as much athletic ability and playmaking ability. Now they got to go out there and show it. So it's going to be interesting to see what guys, step up and take a big step in, announcing themselves to the team as much as the fan base that, they're good players.
We got about a minute left. I wanted to ask from all of that, with conversations about tackling and about defensive upfront play in Saturday's scrimmage, is there any way to really reevaluate and reassess tackling? Because we don't know what are they going to go at 100%?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's something for the coach to kind of set the expectation. I think tackling is one of those things. Like I said, the first game, first scrimmage, at least for me in my experience, is always the hardest, right? Because you've worked all off season. You might do some stuff in practice, but to do it out there, it's your first time. I'm assuming that the tackling had gotten better, and so I don't really foresee it to be a problem. No different than when the first game in the NFL. That's where you see most guys cramp up, most missed tackles, most kind of maybe offsides, and the lack of execution because you're not in full game shape. So, they'll set the tempo of what they want to do, and they might go practice tempo first half, maybe second half, maybe crank it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, I didn't know anything in between. As long as I, wasn't taking anybody down, I felt like I'm just going to go out there practice 100 miles an hour, and then everything else could work itself out because I needed every rep. So, my advice would be going out there to play 100% like it's a game, and then be able to taper off versus trying to crank it up at some point in time.
Yeah, I think those stories will develop a little bit more transparency next week, but good for now. We'll toward the break, come back. Rico's question of the day. Let's see what Rico's got in store. We'll find that out next on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs. Husker fans, don't miss your chance to get a first look at this year's Nebraska football team at Memorial Stadium. The annual Husker football red and white spring game is set for Saturday, April 9th at 1 p.m. Tickets are on sale now for only $10. To secure your tickets today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancenE.com.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Every time the back door closes, it squeaks and reminds me of how I used to go out back for a cigarette 2-3 times a day when I was stressed, when I was hungry, when I was bored. But then I think of how the stale taste lingered in my mouth, and I reach into my purse and pop a stick of gum. And the craving is gone.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 and 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps in a back. Give me the girls with the pumps in a back.
Rico's having a good hair day, feels himself. He's gonna headbang a little bit.
Did the backup make it in? Did your wife make it in? Yeah,
Yes, she is here.
Yeah, there it is. There it
She's here.
is. That's where the energy came from.
You want to know what happened last night?
Sure,
I
why
slept
not?
all through the night.
Did you say welcome home, honey? Here's the kids.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I said, welcome home. Here's your child.
You're right. Jump shot.
And it's funny because so on like Tuesday, we FaceTimed and she's like, yeah, Ellie, I got you a gift. So all until yesterday, mommy got me a present. Mommy got me a present. As soon as she walks in, she doesn't say, hi, mommy, how are you? I missed you. She goes, where's my present? Just walks right up to her. Where's my present? And Rachel's like, wow, it's good to see you too.
Dang.
What'd you get her?
She got her a little dress with Disney princesses on it. She loves it. She's wearing it today.
There you go. See?
Quick turnaround.
Oh yeah.
You know, hopefully she told everybody that her mom got her.
Oh yeah.
Something.
She was, at daycare. She was telling everybody, my mom got me a present.
I
My
like
mom
that.
got me a present.
That's cool.
What's your question of the day, Rico?
My question of the day. Scott Frost and Co. have been here for 4 years. What year did they have the most rushing yards as a team?
At Nebraska?
Yes.
His first year. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
2,508. Followed by 2,439, 1,611, and last year 2,174. But
Well, that's COVID, so yeah.
But last year they had the most rushing touchdowns with 31.
Who led them?
Their running quarterback.
Uh,
Yeah, that guy.
who will lead them this year?
Ooh. You know
That
what?
quarterback?
No, in rushing touchdowns. You know what?
That's hard to predict because it's gonna be a guy that gets hot and he hits, he has four touchdowns from like the one.
Well, I'm not going to say.
I think their depth of running back is tenfold.
I'm not going to give you a name, but I am going to say it's whoever the backup running back is.
So
Starter's going to do all the work.
You saying Yant Man?
If he's the backup,
if
Anthony Grant's the backup, if
I would tell you
Ramirez,
this,
whoever the backup is.
If Yant Man discovers how to run behind his pads, he's going to be a problem for a lot of teams, and he's going to be an asset. It's not just scoring touchdowns; it's almost like, remember when the Dallas Cowboys had Barber and the other running back where Barber will wear you down, then the other one come in. Yant Man can do that. Yeah. So where Yant Man can do, he can run behind his pads, but then he also gives the defensive coordinators in the defense something else to game plan for.
Mhm.
It's not just, yes, scoring touchdowns is the most important, but it's taken away from the other things when you have to worry about a running back that's running behind his pads, because it brings a whole different mentality, they're scheming specifically for when he comes in the game. It's almost like when Michigan Michigan, both their two running backs were both extremely physical, but they ran different. And 25 ran when he started running behind his pads. It opened up their passing game, and people need to understand their best friend of a passing game is a running game.
Let me know if I'm speaking out of turn here. I think the three-headed monster of Yant, Anthony Grant, and Ramir Johnson is going to be a problem. And I believe that Gabe Ervin, when he comes back, can learn a lot from Anthony Grant. I think they have similar styles where they're like do-it-all backs.
Yeah, I think in this offense, you got to be able to do everything. And even last year, you got to be able to do it all. In order to play running back, you can't just be a bruiser. You got to be able to be efficient and running inside-outside zone, inside-outside plays, pass blocking, catching out of the backfield, blitz pickup, being able to run good routes. You got to be, effective. And not only here, but to be effective against other teams. And if you have aspirations going to the next level, you better be a three down back.
Yeah.
And I think the more you have, I think it opens up the offense, because then again, you can't just game plan for one.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're going to have some guys that are better in the passing game than others. But if you're efficient in everything, and they're using you in the same way, then that's more things to take away from the defense's preparation. Then ideally it's going to open up the offense. Then it'll allow the offensive line to actually play a little bit better and more as a cohesive unit, because they don't have to change the way that they block, but then also they're going to have the defense on their heels just from a game plan standpoint.
It's going to be a fun week, and like I said, over speculation and over consideration, but it's a spring game in Nebraska. That's kind of what's expected. So, all right, Jay Foreman, have a great weekend, bro. Rico, stay tuned. We will flip it over to one-on-one. Kind of have some fun because Tiger might play soon, and it's WrestleMania weekend. Let's have some fun. That's what we're going to do next.